Welcome, guys. So, waiting for Carmack to come up. So today is gonna be an episode. So Death is not going to be here today. Today is gonna be an episode with Karma and about XLS20, and we want to, kind of talk about standard that is currently in the voting process, and maybe also talk about possibilities and that come with XLS20, and also to see what kind of questions you guys have, and try together to figure out where this might lead us on the XRPL down the road. And so we're excited for this episode today. Yeah, so while we're waiting for Karma to come up, maybe just a rough overview of maybe where we are coming right now, basically. With XLS20, it's the NFT standard on the XRPL. Right now, so we have been, it was first introduced with version 1, Ripple D version 1.9.0, and currently we are at version 1.9.2. Because there were bugs found that brought some issues with servers and nodes in particular. So we had to basically bring some fixes to it. And so right now we have the standard right now. This is the version 1.1. And this is the version the validators are voting at to have XLS20 on. So far, it seems very stable, and there are no issues reported. And we are at, I think, 54%, at 80% over 2 weeks. That standard will get enabled. With that being said, we have seen many projects form in anticipation of this standard across the board. We have been seeing many people also get noticed from other blockchains. So it seems, whether you are a fan of NFTs or not, that is definitely bringing some light, or some eyeballs, I should say, to the XRPL, which is always positive, right? Especially in times like this, where we have a lawsuit ongoing. And so with all these projects that are waiting in anticipation of XLS20, we kind of want to, as I said in the beginning, we want to figure out what the standard is going to be, what it's going to help us to do in the future. I know, there's always the classic example of real estate and properties. But very recently also music, which is very exciting. And maybe we will get some input from OC about this as well. So all in all, very exciting for the community, but also to pretty much learn what is the power of the XRPL, because I think XLS20 is a prime example of why the XRPL is so powerful, and we will also go over that.
I think so. Can you hear me?
Yes, very clear.
Well, I don't know. I've never had that happen before. That was interesting. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Uh,
Karma, you there? Okay, so while Kamar is sorting his internet connection out, we just continue where we basically left. Yeah, so we gonna kick it off and have a nice conversation with you all, and see where we go with that. So I see Alex is up. What's up, Alex?
Not much, man. Just getting myself ready this morning. I did think that I was doing the 5 a.m. start, but it turns out we're doing the 7 a.m. start. So beautiful. Good way to be able to start the day.
Beautiful. I see Karma's up. Karma, you good?
Am I?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. I had to switch over to the desktop. I don't know what's going on with the phone.
Ah, okay. Yeah, now it seems sorted out.
Anyway, it sounded like you were talking about the amendment process.
Yeah, exactly. I was just having an intro. Maybe we just going. I think I'm just gonna repeat that. So I just said, yeah. So we're currently waiting for XLS20. It's up, in the current version of 1.9.2. With all the fixes, we had some issues before, and so right now we are at 54%, and so I was touching on that we will see in hopefully in this episode today um, that XLS20 is, in my opinion, a very, very good example of to highlight the strength of the XRPL and what it is good at, as well as to see what are the possibilities with XLS20, what kind of opportunities we see else coming up, and maybe also highlight the unique features of the standard compared to other.
Yeah, I think the some of the features are like the royalties and this kind of stuff and the brokerage fees, I think are really, I guess, unique to be on a decentralized platform. I think you can do some of that stuff on some other platforms, but it's enforced through more of a centralized mechanism, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. So, for example, yeah, I mean, it's a good starting point basically to have royalties up. Why is it that it's so important with royalties? So the traditional way, as far as I know, is if you have a gallery, for example, it's I think the split is around 70-30, means 70% goes to the gallery and 30% is going to the artist, which is nuts, right? I mean, this is yeah, I mean, clearly skewed in favor of the gallery, and in that sense, you have full control over the royalties, and royalties are maybe for people who don't know, with each sale, so each transaction, there goes a percentage of it to the artist wallet, the issuer who minted the NFTs, will automatically get sent to it. And with each sale, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I was shocked when I first started talking to folks about the NFTs and stuff because I've never, I mean, the art world is not my world. Um, but the fees that the artists, whether I guess they're taken from the artists. I actually kind of didn't even believe that was real, but I guess that's the way the market functions. And so I think that if we can have the system set up in a way that is more fair to the artist, how would that be bad? I mean, maybe the art gallery doesn't make as much, but that's fine. They didn't create the art. They're just a, like a broker. But there's a broker fee too, right? Like, so you can put in a broker fee. So if I run a gallery, I can still, make money to support running the gallery, right? I mean, I think, aren't those the only two things?
Yeah. So I just want to basically, it's a good that you mentioned this. To go over the several attributes that we have with XLS20. So they are basically, you mentioned the broker mode, which is a part of the, let me see, is it that? Oh, which is part of the NF token accept offer. This is a method with XLS20. So with XLS20, we have several new methods. This is one is the NF token mint, NF token create offer, NF token cancel offer, NF token burn, and NF token accept offer, right? If that's correct, this is 5. So 5 methods that are unique and can be used specifically only with XS20 or XS20 objects, like in the NFTs. And what you are referring to is the broker mode and the like the broker fee, so to speak. And yeah, the broker fee is very interesting because, as you said, there's this fee where Gene has an NFT, and I know he's the owner, and you want to buy an NFT from the collection that Gene owns, and I can say, hey, cool, I know you, and I know you. Let me broker between you guys because my advantage is that I know who owns what. So because this might be some, I mean, everyone who is like familiar with how a broker works, right? Real estate, whatever. That's basically it. You have buyers and sellers, and you bring them together. And my advantage is that I know who is who. And if I specify this transaction, I have to take your wallet basically address and Gene's wallet address, and I create this transaction that will appear on both of sides, like Gene and you. And if this transaction goes through, I get a cut of it. Yeah, this is my broker fee.
That's that's almost like rippling in a sense.
Yeah.
Because I would assume the issued asset, the NFT, would pass through the broker wallet, and then you can like basically set a quality in out ratio, and that would be the broker fee. Or does it work different than that?
It works in the sense of so you can set it as to what you want. It's totally up to you. The fee, but when you set the fee, it's like, so if you buy from Gene, right, and I set my fee to a certain percentage, the amount you send to Gene has to be obviously the amount that Gene expects to get, plus royalties. Okay, so the artist plus the broker fee. So your transaction that you are going to send has to cover all these costs, else it will not go through because you go short on either one of them, right? So
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
yeah.
I'm trying to think. Are there other features on Ledger that kind of do that? I mean, this is a whole new amendment, so
It is a whole new amendment, and it's it's very cool because it brings it incentivizes people to also act as brokers. It's very cool. So you kind of create an ecosystem with this, and you open up this to people to actually make a living maybe out of it, right? All the marketplaces basically will live off the broker fee, because this is their advantage, that they know, hey, I know who is that and who is that, and I'm gonna facilitate the transaction between you guys, and I'm taking a cut out of it, right? So this is very, very cool that it is built in. But you have all, and this is the cool thing, it is not forced. So the broker can, specify this, but you can also have a peer-to-peer. So if you have an NFT and like, I know Gene and I want specifically the NFT from him, you guys can do it also peer-to-peer, so without an intermediary, right? So middleman, and transact, and you don't have to specify a broker, because there's none, which is cool. It's not forced. It's very modular, and I think this is nice, very, very nice for an NFT standard.
But in regards to those fees as well, I mean, say if we're looking at a price tag on an NFT, and then you've got obviously your broker fees and royalties and things like that. Would those prices actually be set into that original price of the NFT, or are we talking about an additional price on top of that as well? It just seems a little bit counterintuitive not to be able to actually include that inside the pricing of the NFT by itself.
Yeah, totally right. So ideally, you, as a marketplace, in that sense, you would display, like the total cost. So you'd say, hey, this is included, basically, the fees we're gonna take and the royalties, because you know all these parameters up front. You know exactly, if you offer this NFT on your marketplace, basically exactly also, hey, how much is the royalty, because you're displaying it, you should already have the info, and you obviously know how much you're gonna take, so you're gonna display the total cost, and not later on. It's, I think, yeah, that definitely should be the case.
Yeah, cool. Because I know with like a lot of the Ethereum-based stuff, most of that sort of worked in, and once again, you've still got that issue of gas there as well. So hopefully, with like the XRP ledger, that should be a little bit cheaper, I do believe.
Oh yeah, most certainly. Like, all the transactions, you have the full benefit of the XRPL with the low fees and all that. Um, you have even additional benefits, as for example the spam protection. For if we talked about these 5 methods that XLS20 has, and I mentioned accept offer, and create offer, and cancel offer. So it means, you have, so if someone creates an offer, it creates an offer, you have to actively accept that offer, in order to receive it. So I cannot just send you inappropriate pictures, let's say, to your wallet, unlike, let's say, on Ethereum, which is the case, and most certainly possible to do. But even beyond that, like, there are really cool. We talked about this, but we're gonna have more stuff to talk about this. But for example, which is very exciting, are the flags. In my opinion, the flags are very, very interesting, in the sense of, you have different flags that you can specify upon minting, and basically tell what people can do with this NFT or not. You have the flag, for example, for burn. Okay, you can prevent people to burn an NFT, or allow it. You can also specify what kind of currency should be allowed to buy this NFT. So you can specify XRP only, or other issued assets. Okay, so you can say, hey, I open it up to XRP, US dollar, Japanese yen, whatever, or only XRP. Yeah, only XRP. Another flag which is interesting, and this is also one, like my profile picture. This is from a very good friend of mine. He has a NFT collection called X Rooms, and this specific profile picture NFT is going to be minted by him once XS20 is out, or if XS20 is out, rather, and it will have the transfer flag set to 0. Basically means I cannot transfer it, so I get it, and it's basically soul bound. People say it's gonna stick to my wallet, and I cannot transfer it. It's kind of act as an identity verification, right? So whatever wallet would have this NFT could be associated with me. It cannot be transferred, cannot be nothing. It's gonna stick to the wallet, which I think there might be nice use cases. Karma, you have, I think, brought up some as well in the
Well, you could
previous shows.
you could still transfer the wallet, right? Like, let's say you wanted to give me the NFT, you could just give me the keys to the wallet. It'd still be stuck in the wallet, though, right? So you can kind of work around that.
Yeah, you could transfer the wallet, obviously, or rekey it, whatever. But yeah, the thing is with wallet selling, or to sell someone the wallet, like I could sell someone my wallet, yeah, in that sense. Whether people would actually do this or not, I highly doubt. Like, this is obviously not recommended, because an XRPL is who activated my account and who I gonna activate someone else's account. So if I activate with my other wallet this account that I have this profile picture on, and I'm gonna sell this wallet to someone else, and he activates other wallets with this wallet, and those wallets are gonna be involved in a criminal activity, people are gonna trace it back to me, basically, because I activated the wallet that I sold. So this is absolutely not recommended to do, and you should definitely not do it, because you don't know like what this person is gonna do with this wallet, and any forensic analytics will come back to you most certainly. So absolutely do not sell your wallet or anything, or activate someone else's wallet. Yeah.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that.
Quick question about the setting the transfer to 0. Would you be able to burn it?
This is, yeah, you could burn it if the flag for it is set to 1. So if you set burn to 0 and transfer to 0, then no, you cannot burn, not transfer. Yeah, but if you do set it to 1, yeah, you can burn it then. Yeah.
Hey, Vet, do you mind? So there was the issue with the NFTs back in December, right? And I think doesn't the XLS20 it makes a new object called a page, and then like a bunch of NFTs can be underneath that page, and that helps like reduce the database load, if I'm understanding that right.
Yeah. So you're totally right. We have with XLS20 the what is it called? These pages, as you said, and you can set up to 32 entries per page, and the 32 entries NFTs per page is not something you actively create or something, right? So the wallet is, or the ledger is doing it automatically for you. And the reason for 32 specifically is some sort of optimization, and to this is there are some mathematical references there. If someone is interested, look it up at the GitHub. But yeah, Nick Bugalis, the author, was like saying, "Hey, 32 is is a good number for that. And yeah, you have the reserves. So with each NFT you have on your page, you're gonna have, I think, as far as I know, 2 XRP you need to have in your wallet as a reserve to back those up. So you have 10 NFTs, then you would need 20 XRP to have them.
Wait, say that last part again? Because I thought the reserve was only for the page.
Oh, sorry, you're right. Yeah, you're right. The reserve is for the page. So up to 10, you would still be on one page, and one page is then reserved by that amount of XRP, then 2 XRP in that sense. There's a table set with one XRP, 2 XRP, 5 XRP. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I've seen that. I thought it was like the page was sort of an object. You had a reserve for that. And then the NFTs, like 32, were under that object, or like sort of like sub objects or whatever you would call it. I don't know. Underneath the page. Am I wrong?
Yeah, that's correct. You, for example, if you have like 30, let's say you have 33 NFTs, yeah, so that would be like 2 pages. So you would need to have 2 pages because you have 32 plus 1, and the plus 1 is taking a whole page for itself, and in that sense you would need those reserves set, which is going to be interesting, especially
Yeah.
for I'm always gonna add stuff to my commentary here where I think it's interesting. For minting it will be really interesting. Why it's going to be interesting? If you mint 10,000 NFTs, that's a hell lot of XRP. Actually, you need to put at reserve, and if you mint even more, you need even more in reserve. So you don't want actually to hold all these NFTs in your wallet, because you're gonna you need a lot of XRP to back them up. So this is gonna be to each marketplace or each minting tool, whatever, to tactic to how to deal with this to not to lock up too many XRP.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, if you go over the limit. Gosh, could you imagine some I don't know, maybe they made a code change or something. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I just want to say, Death Ranger brought us the unlucky rugs. Yeah, but I think now it's good. It seemed not to be correlated with your phone or something. I don't know.
No, I'm not on my phone. I'm on the desktop now. I mean,
Okay.
I
Yeah,
gave
that's
up
good.
on the phone the first time after the second time it did what it did. Anyway, what were you saying?
Yeah, I was saying that 10,000 NFTs is definitely so 10,000 NFTs is definitely going to happen because this is the common size for an NFT collection actually. So 10,000 is always that number for an NFT collection. So pretty much always the same. There are smaller collections, bigger collections, but 10,000 is like the standard, you know.
So what for 10,000 NFTs? Hold on, let me grab a little calculator real quick. So with 10,000 NFTs, you'd have to
You would need to
have
do
what 312, so that would be like 624, 25 XRP. Actually, that's not that bad in terms of
Yeah,
cost.
it's definitely not bad. I mean, it's some XRP, obviously, right?
Yeah,
But
but it's not terrible.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, what that would be um about $200.
Today prices, yeah.
Yeah, that's not terrible. I just thought the interesting part was, see, this is where my knowledge boundary ends, but I try to understand. But the idea that you could have all these NFTs, but each NFT wasn't its own individual object, which then brought less sort of ledger bloat onto the network. That was what I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, exactly. Um, I mean, it's still gonna bring um, some weight, so to speak, or a load to the ledger in that sense. Um, but it's definitely going to be better um, than with let's say XLS 14, which I'm not considering. I don't consider this an NFT standard. Um, it's definitely going to be more lightweight. Hey, I think it's connecting, or maybe it is. Yeah. Hey, NYC.
Yeah, with XLS 14, each thing is its own object on the database, right?
It's
So,
actually not even an object. It's a whole account.
oh gosh.
Yeah,
Oh, I
it's a whole
guess that
account.
does make sense. Huh.
Yeah. Hey, NY crypto.
Hey, how are you guys? How is everybody?
How you doing, man?
So, quick question. I'm gonna pretend like today's the first day I heard about NFTs, and let's say I'm an artist and I wanna partake in XRPL's XLS20. How would I go about that? Do I have to wait for somebody to come up with an interface so that I can, I guess, introduce my art to the blockchain? Is there something available at the moment? You know?
Can you repeat the last part? Introduce your art to the blockchain right now.
Yeah, like if I wanted to mint my NFTs on the XRPL, right?
Yeah.
Hypothetically, let's say today is the first time I've heard about NFTs and I'm an artist and I'm just gonna
Yeah.
go with the XRPL. What would I have to do?
You would need to wait, basically. There is right now no option for you to actually mint your NFTs on a standard that I would personally consider to be viable in the future, and is the actually anticipated one. You know, the one that you really want to deal with. You don't want to deal with other standards. So you would need to wait. And right now, the vote for this, I mean, the next question could be also, how long do I have to wait? I mean, that depends on the validators and how they consider the network to be ready for it. There's a lot of concerns right now about the network and how it's gonna handle that load, and what kind of measures or other stuff has to be taken um, before enabling XLS20. So there's some, not disagreement, I would say, but there's some concerns and some thought you have to put into this when enabling it. And for people who are maybe thinking, yeah, well, but why should we? And I mean, there's no risk. Well, worst case scenario, we break some, or we make the, not, we don't always have to go for the worst case scenario that we break something and have to reset something or whatever, but to make basically the ledger not accessible for others. So if you have a business, right, you have a business that is relying on the XRPL, and you operate smoothly, no issues, nothing, and suddenly there is this huge load that is not good distributed, and you get interfered, whatever. Should not be the case. GM Arrow, hi.
Hey guys, I just had a question. Is there any app or anything that's available to, let's say if I had a piece of art or something that I created and I wanted to make it an NFT, is there anything that's currently available on the market that you can just like upload that, make it an NFT, and then like let's say for instance if I build furniture, I build 5 pieces of furniture and I want to basically authenticate that on the blockchain. Um, is there something that I could uh, take a picture, upload, whatever the case may be, and make it an NFT and basically authenticate that item? And yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. Do you mean now specifically for the XRPL?
No.
In general?
Period. Yeah, in general. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, you could do this. I have maybe a hard time to recommend Ethereum in that sense, but
Yeah.
Songbird, for example, I mean, you can do it on Ethereum, like, we chain agnostic. Ethereum, you can do it. Songbird, you can do it. Ethereum is maybe a bit more easier, I would say, in the sense of tools available for minting and all that. So I would say, just to float some apps, because you asked for apps. I recommend for hosting your NFTs, nft.storage, nft.storage, and I recommend for creating your metadata, whatever hashlibs, those two, in my opinion, are a good combo to deploy your smart contract and all that. So if you Google hashlibs, you will get to a GitHub account. You will find tons of YouTube videos where you can do this. And nft.storage is, in my opinion, also a very good one to upload stuff. But
No,
you can
awesome.
totally do this for your business, for example. You can totally do this. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one of my ideas was like, for instance, like in the maker space, people that make whatever things that they sell, and if they wanted to basically authenticate their item, or in the future, if you're, let's say you're a successful artist, designer, or whatever, in 20 years they start copying your design and making unlimited amounts, like for instance in furniture and stuff like that. Um, and you could authenticate your 5 pieces besides your signature or whatever, your stamp on the item. You could actually authenticate it on the blockchain using an app, taking a picture, or actually inputting a code or whatever, a barcode or something, to make that, well, truly authentic to your, well, to you, I guess.
Yeah, you totally can do this, and I think like this is a very nice use case for it, because it does make it easier. You know, you don't have like to keep any documents around or something. It's on the blockchain, and yeah, you can definitely do this. And also about, I mean, the thing is with people claiming to copy NFTs and all that stuff. The thing is, when you mint something, um, that wallet that is minting these NFTs um, is very, very important. It's very, very important for provenance, right? So because anyone who's like looking up to verify something, he will look, okay, this is the image or whatever, or the document, but that document is nothing worth, right? Because you can see the IPFS link on the blockchain, and anyone can link to it. But what you cannot not copy is the wallet that minted it, that put it up. So I would, for example, see, okay, what is the wallet that minted that NFT, and verify that one if it's the original 5-piece furniture one, right?
No, that sounds amazing.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's
Yeah,
yeah, as long as everything's coming from the same wallet, and 10 to 15 years, everyone says, oh, look, it all came from this place, and there's no disputing
yes,
the verification of this NFT.
yes, exactly. Yeah, even if people, a couple years later, went ahead and copied your NFT or the picture of your furniture, whatever. Yeah, they have the same picture, but do they have the same wallet? That's unlikely. I mean, that cannot happen. And
Yeah.
also,
Well, you
I mean,
look,
this is one method.
I look,
Go ahead.
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, yeah. First is the wallet that you cannot copy. It's unique. And second is also the timestamp. So without even knowing, like if I don't know what is the original wallet, okay, so I don't know what is the real wallet. I don't care, because I'm not in contact with the original artist or whatever. I can go back and see when is the first time I saw someone link that picture with a wallet, like putting basically a pointer to that URI. So I go back and see what's the first one. The first one, I would assume, is the original one, right? And I would just verify that one without even knowing what is the original one. But I would just go back in time and see when is the first time it appeared on the blockchain, and I just verify that one.
This is very good. Thank you very much. This answered a lot of the questions in a few sentences. Awesome. Yeah, no, I had a
You're
few
welcome, man.
ideas. Like, I make like high-end furniture and stuff, and if you make like 5 pieces, um, you can see that people will copy your design, and they could obviously reproduce it, but who knows the quality and etc. But if you have it on an NFT and you include that with your sale or whatever, then 50 years down the road, they can see that it's authenticated. One person has made this. So very good, cool. Thanks a lot, Bet. That's awesome.
I think it's a nice use case for it. Honestly, like beyond just images. So furniture. It's the first time I hear this, but this is awesome. Very cool.
Yeah, no, I make a lot of stuff, and anything can be considered art, but like,
Yes,
if you look at how much furniture has been replicated in Chinese versions of this furniture, etc., like there's classic designs that are continually copied throughout history, and if you can put your name on a couple of these things, and now that it's on the blockchain, then you're laughing with the originals, right? So it does not, it's no
exactly.
longer, yeah, awesome. I love it.
Especially like with these, like with many things, like for example, you mentioned in that use case furniture. Maybe they appear to be the same, like from the design. Maybe the Chinese version, it looks pretty much similar, but the inside, the quality, right? The quality you cannot copy in that sense. And if you know, like this is the original one,
Exactly.
beneficial. Yeah.
Yeah. especially this is the application for handmade items is pretty cool. So if you that was my idea, is to have an app where for makers, because like if you look at maker spaces, and I follow a lot of people on YouTube that obviously make things, if they were given an app to be able to mint an NFT quite quickly, and be able to distribute that easily to their clients without having any understanding of blockchain or whatever, coins and everything, I think is, I don't know, in my eyes, I think that's a good idea. But we're in stage -1 here, so yeah.
Yeah, I love that idea, and I hope when XLS20 comes around that you will mint someone on the XRPL. What do you think, Karma? That's a nice idea, right? Furniture,
Well,
authentication,
one
quality.
of my questions that I've wondered, and I haven't really come up with a solution, and I've heard some, I'll call them quasi solutions, but how do you connect a physical object to an NFT? Like, do you put like a QR code on the bottom of the couch or something?
Yes. Sorry, I just wanted to say yes.
I've thought of this. I've thought of this exactly. Oh no, I've thought of some of these issues. You can't either a QR code. There's obviously all those things like a QR code, or for instance, if you build a wooden coffee table using, for instance, if you actually burned a number into it, like all that can be copied, but you'd have to come up with like 3 or 4 points of contact. A furniture is easy because you can like take a picture of the wood, like the grain of the wood, and you can't copy that, right? So furniture is a unique position, but physical objects, you'd have to find imperfections in the object, I think. You like for like how the grain of the wood, you'd have to literally take a picture of that and make that the NFT to show that that can't be replicated. There's only one of one item. And I don't know, maybe you guys can chime in, but
Well, I hadn't thought about having 2 or 3 different verification method. That makes
authenticators.
sense.
Yeah.
The thing is, I guess I've got a lady that that I'm friends with, and she's an exceptional artist, and I've wanted to help her sort of, mint NFTs for her art, but you don't want to like put a freaking QR code in the middle of a beautiful picture. Like that's a bad idea. Or a painting, I mean. On furniture, I guess you could etch it in.
The NFT could almost be like for each piece, like for an artist, if you're drawing whatever or painting, it could be a clip of the person actually signing it or something, like a live. Well, I don't know. Like there's a few. I don't know. I'm just spitting images or thoughts here, but like in woodworking, woodworking is easy because, like I said, like you could take a picture of the wood and the grains of the wood. There's no other piece of wood that will match that, right? It's an NFT in itself, but you guys know what I mean. But like other pieces of art that could easily be copied, you might have to get like 2 or 3 authenticator images or NFTs to really satisfy a future customer or whatever, right?
Well, I mean, I guess there is a lot of really good AI for image recognition stuff that you could probably use. Maybe that could be like one of the multiple methods. I don't know.
True. Yeah, I'm thinking now, like nobody that's buying a coffee table could care less about this. But I'm saying if you make high end furniture and you only into the future, right?
There's also quantum fingerprint technology. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of it, but it's a solution for basically counterfeiting within DLT. Something to look into. Quantum fingerprint technology, yeah, or tagging. I think it's tags or fingerprint technology. I'm not sure. It's kind of there's use cases for it. So yeah, you can check it out.
No, I will. Thanks. I'm writing
I think
that
there's
down
also
right now.
a potential use case with like VeChain. Don't they do like some type of authenticating product, or at least maintaining supply chain, like VeChain's technology? There's tags that can be like scanned by your phone. If it has a tag, it'll automatically do it, and it's not usually a very visible item, but it'll tell you kind of information about the object and take you to a website just by scanning some type of, and I don't think it's like a normal QR code. It's actually something different than that, but not too sure about that. But I do know quantum fingerprint technology is something to look into for sure.
No, thanks, Valor. I wrote that down.
Somebody, Lady K, just said what you could use like a RFID code or like a NFC type of radio chip as well.
Oh, that's a good idea. Are those, and that does that the RFDs, do those does the signal or anything, does that wear out over time, diminish or anything?
I don't know. I mean, it's got to have, in order to submit a frequency or emit, a frequency, I would think it would need some sort of energy. So
that's what I was thinking.
I mean, it's not going to need much.
No, but I'm thinking long term. Like, Karma, if you buy a $10,000 coffee table, it's not something that when you die, it's not going to the garage sale kind of thing. Like, this might be passed down or sold, or I'm thinking long term things like that, like 100 years, let's say.
Well, I mean, it.
Most RFID chips only last about 20 years at the top end. About 20 years, so yeah, that's something to consider.
Well, yeah, you'd have to.
And in 100 years, there won't be any wood, so we're got to think ahead, guys.
By the way, we're coming up on the hour, so if anybody else wants to speak up, please go ahead and speak up. It's an interesting subject. I don't know how this situation is going to get worked out, but I think it will ultimately.
Question for you guys. Did you see where Matt Hamilton was asking David Schwartz some questions about the XRPL? I'll pin it up at the top for you guys.
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, was that with the IPFS and ledger hash? Or maybe that was something else.
Something else, but no. That's a good subject too. That's juicy.
Yeah, that's also a good one.
It was truncating the EDDSA and ECDSA when they used ED 25519.
Isn't that like cryptography method?
Yes. Hold on. Let me just post it to the top.
Did you pin it up?
You can pin it up, but it won't. 90% of the guys in this room probably won't know what that tweet means. I have no idea. So I saw that thread too, and it was like Schwartz and Hamilton talking, and they were talking aliens. Aliens speak to me.
You know, I've had people, because I like my financial stuff, and I've had people tell me, like, they're polite, you know, and they'll listen, and then they're like, dude, I have no idea what the hell you just said. Right? Like, and when I bumped into especially on the cryptography side and some of the technical stuff with crypto, I get it. Right? It's like I heard what you said, but I'm really not sure that like landed in my brain.
So to help simplify it, when they were mentioning like truncating or to truncate, it means to shorten, the keys itself, or like shorten how long it takes, for the keys to be derived in a sense. So, just splitting up SHA-512, it can be very hard. So what they went ahead and did with, ED25519 was how to put it, they truncated it, and when it comes to truncating it, they pretty much split the keys in a sense, and they split the functions of what the keys are going to do.
This is interesting. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about now.
Yeah.
Say that. Sorry. Say that last part again.
It's the function of how the keys are being split up, or it's just how they're splitting up the keys. Like what keys are doing which jobs out of that algorithm.
But this is on a single wallet, not like a multi-sig situation.
Oh no, this can include multi-sig. This is like the whole algorithm itself and like the capabilities of it.
I'll have to try and read it again. That's one of those things I could probably read 4 times and still not understand.
So I also asked some questions for David Schwartz to answer. So hopefully, if you guys could retweet it, I'll post it up. But if you guys could retweet it, to get an answer from him so he can simplify it even further, it would help, because I tried to simplify what he stated, but it all looks really complicated to maybe some of the average people who don't like or who don't study cryptography. But him simplifying it even further, my interpretation is that he split it up for like the function of what the keys are going to be used for. So these keys are going to be used, and what he did in a sense in shortening it, he actually shortened how long it takes for a digital signature algorithm to be, verified in a sense.
Gene, can you tell me why that is faster than to do 256? Because you have first to go to 512, and so you get 512, and then you basically just take the first whatever algorithm is determined to take 256 bits. But why not go directly to 256? Isn't that basically the same, I would say? Or why is it faster, I wonder?
I think because he's doing it as 2 to the 128th power.
Okay.
Well,
I retweeted it for
Do you guys want to keep going for a little longer? Normally we would wrap it up about now, but
yeah, we can go a bit longer to make it up for the issues at the beginning.
Oh yeah, I don't know what the heck was going on there. That was weird.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good.
It had me as co-host, but instead of a microphone button, I had a button to join to listen. And I was like, I'm already co-host. What do you mean? So I don't know what that was about. They must have done some code updates or something. Anyway, I don't want to derail the conversation. So basically, and I know this is off of the XLS20 topic, but this would, if I'm understanding it, would functionally like what allow transactions to be validated faster? Is that the purpose or the goal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's no need for extra padding. Because when you're adding extra, and that you can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but my perception of like padding is like there's still more computation that's being done to that like random number, to that PRNG, or the pseudo random number generator. But what they did is they stopped all of the extra padding.
Yeah, and it's pretty interesting actually. I mean, he said because they didn't need more, right? Like it's totally enough. Yeah,
Yes.
he said I choose this for XRPL. No, because it's faster. Okay. Okay, interesting actually. I mean, the reasoning why.
Yeah, it sparked my interest. Don't worry, there's still some stuff I can. I was in like a dark I was in a deep rabbit hole, just figuring it all out, because I was just like, wait a minute, this is starting to make sense, because I had a perception of Edwards curve, and I think with Edwards curve's additions, like his additions. Hold on, is in one of my tweets I put in. I'm sorry, it's so hard to remember every single thing you can like.
Additions law, yeah, you said.
Yeah, his additions
law, yeah.
I think his additions law is what actually provided extra security as well. That's why there wasn't a need for extra padding, right?
Seems like. I mean, did he expand on it? No, he just stopped tweeting after that. Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Karma?
If you could get an airplane and fly it over my head, you might be able to take the ideas with you. I mean, no, I try to follow along, and I do like math, but and I've learned actually. I've looked into basic stuff in cryptography due to like stumbling into this world. But I'm not. Like someone like Gene's going to be so far much over. I'm not on that level. So I try to follow along and understand, and mostly I try to just understand why it's important and why it matters, and then what is it useful for. There's some pretty reoccurring answers to those questions. Security, duh. Security has been a need forever, and it's going to continue to be. Uh, some of the actual like math and cryptography stuff, I do my best to follow along about it. Yeah. I understand that it's a very significant and critical ingredient for these networks. I mean, it is. It's absolutely critical. But I'm not on like a David Schwartz level. Like, yeah, no, not. I'm never gonna be. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah, no. It doesn't. Anyway. Yeah, that's kind of what I think. I think I try to follow along. I try to like sort of kind of keep up, like as much as I can. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't have
actually,
anything to add.
I think actually, Gene is the perfect guy for Schwartz to talk about this stuff, because he's like also very much deep in that.
Yeah, I could see that. That would make sense. I don't have anything to add, so I just try and kind of listen and learn. Yeah.
Oh, hey Gene. So are you I know you're taking your courses in cryptography and stuff. Is is Schwartz in is Schwartz brought up often, or like what is he how is he perceived in the course you're taking, or do you guys ever talk about him?
Good question. So my courses now, it's more blockchain focused, because I'm going for my certified blockchain professional. But my I'm already certified with uh, cryptography for my cryptography certification. No, they don't really bring them up as much, but that's because, I mean, it could be and it's put it it the his it may be the past employers or his past work experience, you know, involving, the three-letter agency, in which I don't want to say, because, this is an awesome space and I
Yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah.
want us to get blacklisted. But yeah, I kind of put the correlation between the both of them, because
We're too early to be able to hear about him, or to almost talk about him. Does that make sense?
the best thing we could, yes, I mean, I would, I mean, Vet, you probably know better than me. I mean, I only have
Do
my
I?
Oh, guys, Cobbcat or whatever, Alex Cobb, I think his name is, or something like that. I don't know. He has a Cobb. This guy on YouTube, he's an original YouTuber.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
and
he's young, but he's good.
yes, super young. And I don't know, it was like half a year ago. Well, it doesn't matter, 5 months ago or whatever. Uh, David tweeted, "Hey, I'm on live on Cobcast," and I happened to be up at night, and it was a live chat, and David was in there. He's and I asked him. He's like, "Hey," I'm like, "What? How does it feel, knowing that you're changing? Like in universities to come, they're going to be talking about how you change the financial system." And he actually answered, and the answer he basically said, he's like, "Yeah, it feels pretty cool." Basically, is what he said. But like, yeah, it's neat that you guys are taking courses, and I don't know, that's why I asked the question, like to see, like, he's not the type of guy to want acknowledgement, but like it's cool to see, like, he is like the granddaddy when it comes to, well, besides Brito and unheard of names, but to this whole ecosystem that's coming up in the future.
Well, there's I agree with you, and he strikes me, and I've never met the man, so but just from I've had some conversations with him, but just through the forums and whatnot. He strikes me as a very humble person, and I remember a few years back, actually, Chris Larson tweeted a photo, and I think they were at like a San Francisco football game or something, and you know he David wasn't like posing for the photo. He had like gone to the concession stand and he was coming back with like a hot dog and a Coke or something like that, And Chris tweeted, basically none of these people realize just quite the significant contribution that this man has made. And like,
No,
he's
it's
not out there beating his chest. He just doing the thing. And
like, how funny is it that I'm excited that I talked to a guy on a YouTube live chat? You know what I mean? Like, how ridiculous does that sound? But like, the guy, in 50 years, my son will be reading about him, and or not 50, whatever, 20 years, doesn't matter. They'll be reading about him in textbooks. Basically was my question, but yeah, it's pretty funny.
I mean, I think he's made a very significant positive contribution to the world. And I think that the value of that contribution will grow across time. This is more the finance side of me. But yeah, I think the amount of value that he's created already is really just like you make an investment, right? And then it grows across time. If it's a good investment, it grows across time. Like, I think that this is all going to grow, and one day, like, he'll look back and be like, holy cow, right? Like, I never thought this was possible.
Yeah, but we're in the point that Karma, we're in that point right now where we know it's possible, and that's what's crazy about it. We can see it happening, and we're like, yeah, this is it to an extent. We don't know where it's going, but we can see the groundwork has been laid, and we're watching these guys, I don't know, do what they're doing. And there's only a few people that are watching, and
it's not even just them. It's you've got R3, you've got Ethereum, you've got Bitcoin, you've got Corda, you've got Solana, you've got all these other. I mean, there's so many. You got Interledger Protocol. And really, if you combined all of those people, I don't know. I'm curious. What do you guys think? How many people do you think would be, I don't want to pollute the idea. How many people do you think would be behind all of those projects cumulative? You got a couple hundred with Ripple. But what about the other how many people do you think are out there in the world? Like, how many brains, like literal, like, physical brains are out there in the world that really, I mean, I know there's some in here, but how many people do you think are really out there that are keyed in? I'm curious. I have a number in my head, but I'm curious.
I have a number, but mine's worth nothing. So my number is a lot less than your guys' number, but
mine's a total guess. I mean,
they all are.
I think it's anyone who understands truly what FIPS is, or what the information that FIPS contains. Because in the post I pinned at the top, he already included a link that included FIPS, but it was talking about FIPS. I think it was like FIPS 180, and yeah, it was FIPS 180-4. And I've been following FIPS 180-4 for a while, because that's like, I can, and this is declassified, so I can actually say this without the fear of losing my certification. Commercial NSA is technically unclassified, and that's within the body or the family of commercial NSA. Then when I started looking at like FIPS 186, where it was actually like the digital signature algorithm, I would say white paper in a sense, that's where I started seeing, ED 25519, and that's kind of how I made my correlation. And then eventually FIPS 201 and 202, had it by default.
I know this is off topic, but excuse me. Gene, were you around when they changed the elliptical curve for the XRP ledger?
I wasn't there for that, but I was researching it, because wasn't there, and I know you and Karma and Vet, you correct me, but wasn't there like a certain like think it was like block number, or I think it was like a ledger number. That just go ahead and continue, Coleman.
Well, I don't know. I was going to ask you a question because I don't understand what the advantage of changing the curve was. I mean, I read all the stuff that David wrote at the time, but doesn't mean I understood it. And I basically just assumed it was some sort of increase in security or scalability or something. I don't know what.
That's exactly it. That's what I was trying to explain before.
Yeah, I don't know.
No. him changing it was him reducing, him like splitting up the key size in a sense, or him truncating, SHA-512. So he probably saw, Twisted Edwards edition, and then decided, okay, this is the actual standard to use with ED25519. Like that actual algorithm. He said, all right, this is standard to using this.
And so back to the, so then that would basically increase the speed of the validation process. Is that, am I hearing you right?
That's my hypothesis, because he used something as secure as SHA-512. And again, it's a very large hash, and he was able to then be able to add speed with it as well. Like to verify a hash like that. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I have a hard time. See, I like math, but at least with like business and financial markets, like I kind of have images in my head of markets and things, and I can like kind of see it. With this stuff, I don't see it. Like I don't have images in my head of how that would impact the system's performance. Oh yeah, I don't know.
To kind of help, like with like signature size reduction, you have to consider that a system that involves a signer who generates digital signatures on some data, the signatures must be transmitted to a verifier who validates the signatures against the signer's public key and the purported signed data. So that's where like the transaction validation comes from, in a sense. Like, but what he went ahead and did was he employed an EC-based snore signature to reduce the challenge size.
But wouldn't that reduce security?
No.
Why not?
Because the way he did it, I'll put it this way. It's sometimes it's hard to like really like, it's kind of hard to articulate in a way.
Don't feel
Just give me a
bad. I'm
second.
not going to understand anyway. But I mean, I try.
It'll take me a moment, but it'll just take me a moment.
Yeah, no worries. If anybody else wants to speak up, I don't know how much longer we'll hang on. We're over time, but we had a bunch of hiccups in the beginning, so I guess that evens out.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting so far, and it's pretty cool to hear a bit of cryptography from Gene. Always good to hear. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, it honestly is. One of the things actually, I know this is off of the XLS20 topic, but one of the things that I actually learned and sort of gained respect for from the XRP community was about Bitcoin, was the cryptography stuff. Because I had heard about Bitcoin a few years before XRP ledger was created, but it didn't make sense to me. I didn't understand why we got plenty of currencies in the world. Why do we need another one, right? The digital aspect was interesting, but past that, I didn't appreciate, or I didn't have any appreciation or understanding of all the cryptography stuff. And then when I saw the XRP ledger, and I was like, oh my goodness, this thing can really do stuff. And then there was this cryptography element, and I was like, okay, what is this about? Yeah, and that's how I kind of gained respect for Bitcoin. And I still don't feel like I understand it. I'm like aware of it. It's about where I would put my level of comprehension. Yeah, but it's critical to this whole industry. I mean, you can't do this industry without cryptography. And I do think, and I know I usually say that I think the trustlessness talk is an element that's not BS, and it's and this is what the cryptography helps enable, right? Like if you know, two parties don't know each other, don't trust each other personally, and it can facilitate an economic transaction, and then
You're breaking up a bit, Karma.
Yeah, I heard you, and then just cut out for me.
Yeah, for me too. All right, guys. Yeah, we think we're gonna end it here. Karma is just also we're about to wrap it up. So yeah, we're gonna thank you guys for coming and for having a discussion with us. All the speakers, Gene, Arrow, and all the listeners down there, of course, and follow the ledgerscale Foundation, and leave a follow there. And tomorrow will be a new episode up. Yeah, with an open forum again. So yeah, thank you guys, and yeah, have a nice day.